What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, talking about a sham, a wrongful act, a straight up injustice that Konami has levied on the Yu-Gi-Oh community with this soon to be released booster set that is Dark Neostorm. This is something that I've actually been growing more and more furious over pretty much by the passing hour, and something that Konami definitely needs to be called out over. And truth be told, I actually didn't realize this initially. A lot of you guys were posting this in the comment section, and then I kind of thought about it after my video was out for about a day or a half a day or so, and I started thinking, and I was like, wait, what the heck? I think you guys are actually right. So what am I talking about, and what am I so agitated over? What exactly am I so pissed off at? I'm pissed off at the fact that it appears, as of right now, and I'm almost certain that most of the TCG exclusives for Dark Neostorm have already been confirmed at this point. It appears that we are not going to be getting any time thieves in this set. As far as I know, there are absolutely zero new time thieves that are going to be in Dark Neostorm, and I honestly think that that is absolute BS. When you look at time thieves, I understand that they did not come out the gates as strong as some of the other archetypes in the past that were TCG exclusives. They were not gangbusters like Cosmos or Burning Abyss, but the deck definitely has potential, and even more so than that, it just felt really unique and refreshing. I mean, really, we're in the Vrains era, and you guys know that most of what Konami is going to release is going to be link based. So it was really refreshing to me for us to get a brand new TCG exclusive archetype that was completely XC based. It wasn't something that was like half XC based and half link based like Infinite Tracks, and it wasn't something that absolutely you could look at it a mile away and say, oh man, this is just going to break the entire game a la Zodiac. This was something that was unique, and it was rank 4 based, and it had a lot of nice utility effects, and it had an absolutely amazing boss monster coming right out of the gates. I actually thought that Time Thieves were a really awesome archetype, and you know, they premiered with 5 cards. They had a lot of good cards in my opinion, launching with a Stratos, a rescue cat essentially, and then obviously Time Thief for Doer, which especially if you get that card with spells and traps on it, it can just be absolutely nuts. It really felt like there was so much potential with this archetype, and actually to that end, for anybody who's thinking, oh come on Cap G, Time Thieves are bud and they're never going to do anything and they're always going to be buds, I would like to point out at this point that there was a young gentleman named Kyler who actually took 10th place at a regionals about 2 weeks ago playing pure Time Thieves. Well, technically he did run some Zodiac cards in his build. He ran Zodiac Barrage and some Zodiac Thoroughblades. They were basically just kind of a utility engine, just another way to get level 4s on the field more consistently so that he could drop his Time Thief for Doer more consistently. And some of you guys might be saying, oh come on Cap, big deal, 10th place at a regionals with only 6 cards in the archetype. Who even cares? He was probably just playing Redoer as an Azathoth, you know, tool. All he did was just go into Azathoth like all the other decks. Actually, that would be incorrect. He did not even main deck the Phantom Knight launch. He said that he just side decked it because he thought that just playing Redoer control was much more consistent, and he did say that most decks that he ran into, Redoer was good enough to honestly just control the game and beat his opponents, and I feel like that's awesome. You look at the Time Thief archetype, you see some of these performances that people are already getting out of the deck, and you're like, all right, this is good. We've got a nice, unique, original archetype that already has shown potential. We've got something to build on. This is also a deck that just got a little bit of support in my opinion. It's indirect support, but I kind of feel like every rank 4 XC deck in Yu-Gi-Oh has gotten a slight buff with the release of Double or Nothing and Utopia Double, because it basically is kind of one card you can run in your deck as, I guess technically a brick, but it does give you the option of your Utopia going to 10,000 attack and potentially stealing games. So you look at this deck, this Time Thief archetype, and it just feels like it had so much potential, and Konami is just kind of skipping out on it. Like, I don't know if they're planning on, you know, following up and Rising Rampage or what, but don't you think it's kind of inexcusable to release a brand new TCG exclusive archetype, and then one set after you premiere it, you automatically just kind of like stop giving us cards for it? And to be honest, look, I know that everything can't be perfectly to Cap G's liking. I would understand if maybe Konami said, all right guys, we're not gonna have Time Thieves in this set, which to me is just a little bizarre, but if they said, we're going to give you guys some brand new TCG exclusive cards, these are going to be blockbusters for old school archetypes or fan favorite favorite archetypes. We're going to give them new Link monsters or cards that are going to be incredibly beneficial to them. You guys know Konami and the OCG does stuff like that. Don't ever forget that cards like Spiral, Double Helix, and Beatrice, Eternal Lady, those were cards that were OCG exclusives for our TCG exclusive archetypes. Konami just kind of made them up out of thin air in the OCG. They gave those cards to the archetypes to make sure that they would be successful, even more successful in the TCG. And then obviously they were super, popular and they were a wild success. But did we get anything like that? Did we get anything that was hype or amazing? Anything that could at least hold us over for, the 4 or 5 months until Rising Rampage, until maybe Konami was going to continue with the Time Thief archetype? No. Do you guys know what they replaced Time Thieves with in this set? And I'm not even like super mad about getting more danger cards, although I kind of feel like dangers have run their course. They've been meta for a few sets now. What Konami is giving us, which honestly I just think makes absolutely no sense at this point. You know what Konami took the Time Thieves out for? They took them out for more fucking Valkyrie cards. You guys know Valkyrie, that like 17-year-old archetype from the Grand Championship arc in Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, this is an archetype that for some reason, Konami never even printed these cards during the DM era. They completely forgot about them for like the first 6 eras of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then they just arbitrarily decide, oh yeah, remember that archetype that we made during DM for Siegfried von Schroeder like 15, 16, 17 years ago? Let's just go ahead and print that. Like, to me, it feels kind of weird. Like, I kind of get it. You have a major character from the DM anime. You want to print the cards. And Konami, they already did that. Like, they had Shadows and Valhalla. They basically made that a Valkyrie set. Not only were Valkyries on the cover of the set, and obviously there were a lot of Valkyrie cards in this set, but they even basically pushed the hell out of the set by giving Siegfried von Schroeder the character duel at last year's NAWCQ. So they did everything they could to push Valkyries, and now Konami is not just doubling down, they're basically tripling down by giving it TCG exclusive support. And is any of this Valkyrie support good? Hell no. This stuff is terrible. I'm talking about this new Valkyrie support, or the cards that we've pretty much gotten for the archetype, especially the TCG exclusives, they're not even good by like GX standards. I mean, do you guys see the Valkyries going anywhere as an archetype? Like, again, I know that everything doesn't have to be based on competitive results and based on the meta, because obviously, people will have their fan favorite decks, but should it come at the cost of a TCG exclusive archetype? Are Valkyries so important that you're gonna like basically put, Time Thieves on hold, or essentially put them on pause to push an archetype that we all know isn't really going anywhere, especially to the extent where Konami is just making brand new cards for Valkyrie? I mean, it's just really frustrating to see what Konami is kind of doing with Time Thieves and how they're kind of treating this new archetype, because they basically kicked it to the curb. It's on, I guess, like hiatus. I mean, maybe Konami won't officially say it, but I'll just say it at this point. They're pimping the hell out of the Valkyrie archetype for the last couple of sets, Savage Strike and obviously now Dark Neostorm. Valkyries are taking up TCG exclusive spots. They're now getting a whole bunch of holos that they probably don't deserve. I'm talking secret rares and ultra rares for cards that, to be honest, are mediocre at best. You look at Time Thieves, all their cards are freaking common, and now they're not even, I guess, going to give us any new cards. Now they're just going to say, hey guys, remember that archetype that we gave you guys, in February? Well, you guys gotta wait until maybe like August or July until Rising Rampage to try to get any new cards for that. And I just think it's a shame, because you look at the deck and maybe they could have given us like a hand trap for the archetype. Imagine if they gave it something like a Phantasme type level 4 monster, where if your opponent maybe special summon from the extra deck, you could just summon it and draw a card, and maybe it could be put in defense mode or something. Or maybe if they gave it like a second Xyz monster, although it does seem like they kind of want everything to revolve around Time Thief Redoer. It just felt like there was so much potential with Time Thieves, and now Konami kind of shits on the archetype and they kind of just give us Valkyries and say, hey guys, be happy with this underpowered deck that really wouldn't even be good if it was released during the era that it was supposed to. And let me just also say, I'm not a Valkyrie hater. I want Valkyries to be competitive because I think that Siegfried von Schroeder is an awesome character. I feel like they're not doing his cards justice, and a lot of the cards just don't feel like they really do anything, especially considering like the competitive meta. I love the artwork on the Goddess cards. I feel like this is some of the best artwork Konami has given us in years, but it's just going to be wasted in an archetype that's not going anywhere. Maybe I'm just projecting my anger on the Valkyries because they're the deck that it kind of seems like is getting all the love, while this awesome deck with a lot of potential is being completely shunned. But you guys leave it in the comment section below. I'm really interested to hear from, you know, the people who were interested in the Time Thief archetype, because this is kind of ridiculous, especially for Konami to not even say anything about, you know, the future of Time Thieves. Because if this is a situation where it's going to be like Gradles, where you get like literally one set of support and then you don't get any more support for years, that's going to be some bullshit. Time Thieves deserve better than that, in my opinion. But again, whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.